And here we are. It warms your heart, doesn't it? No matter what manner of wonders you witness. There's nothing like home. You're young. You'll witness many wonders if gods permit. But your home is your anchor. The one thing you can always fight for. A weak man tends to see weakness in all. A strong man turns everything into strength. All right, victorious commander. Announce your arrival to the Quaestor, and allow us to disband now.
I have wanted to come to Rome for so long. I am almost nervous now. But, if it is bigger, then it is not like any other city, is it? You should be proud to call such place home. You are happy to be home? They will be quite happy to see you again, I bet. I have no place to stay, of course. I can stay in your home, maybe. Just for now. That is generous. Thank you. I will try to find a place for myself, but it is good to know there is no rush. We will see. Maybe I will hate it. Then I will have to go and find someplace else to be. But I think I will want to stay. If I can find place to live. You think it will be bad? Maybe you can help me buy nice Roman stola. Then I will fit in. Right? We will go shopping. It will be fun. Why would I want to keep fighting when I don't have to? Fighting is a necessity of life. It is not sport. I did not come to Rome to keep fighting.
Hey. Oh, thanks. Just what every girl hopes to hear. I don't want to return. I don't even know where to go. This is the first time I'm back home. I appreciate that, but I'd better not. I don't want to depend on someone else. I've seen how badly that can turn out. But I appreciate the offer, really. Doubtful, but I'll keep it in mind. Not really. I like it better out there. I don't know. People. There's a lot of people in Rome. I'm not a people person. Maybe I will. Good weather, nice food. What's not to like? And you've got what you wanted too. Romans are born to serve the Republic, and to die for her if necessary.
What is it, Legati? It is inaction that bothers me. Idleness corrodes the warrior's mind. That is an excellent idea. No wonder you are the legatus. There was, but not in Rome. I had a sister once, although sometimes I question my own sanity. Did she truly exist, or did I merely dream of her?
Aristocles teaches us that one may never truly know. We live chained inside a cave, staring at the shadows on a wall.
None can chain Bestia Tabat anymore. I will find out where my sister is. We were both sold as children. She fetched a higher price than I, for she was better in every way than I was. I do not know what became of her. I shall consider your offer.
We shall help you find your sister, Bestia. Failing that, we shall prove her existence or the lack thereof.
You are a capable commander. Mercy is your weakness. Your enemies exist as long as they survive. Can't think of any situation like you mentioned.
Welcome home, Domine. More than happy. Although it was nice to be back in my homeland once again, I find it quite impossible to not miss Rome. All I need now is a change of clothes and a day trip to the library. Much appreciated. It was good to be back in action, but now my old bones are in dire need of some rest. To see your mother. I'm sure she is anxious to know we've arrived. I shall be cautious like a lizard. None shall be aware of my presence. It appears we have everything we need against Vitellius Scaevola, but keep in mind, appearances can be deceiving. I know you will.
Legate? I always get this weird feeling when I'm back. Like I've left something of mine behind out there. Now there's a thought. That masseuse from Lutetia. I wonder if she's still around. Brilliant idea, Legate. You know what? For once, I'll do nothing. Nothing at all. And it will be glorious. A word of warning, Legate. My nothing involves a lot of debauchery and degeneracy. In that case, we have a compact. As they say in Rome, live with Kaiso, live your life.
And who are they? The people who say that?
You know, people say that. I'm sure I've heard some people saying that. Couldn't be better. We have conquered Asia, and you have all the evidence you need to put that traitorous Vitellius Scaevola behind bars.
Away, Lucullus, and his victorious legion. Welcome home.
Salve, Vitus. It is good to be home again. I'm looking forward to a nice bath and a flask of good Carthaginian wine. Maybe two.
May I humbly recommend Vipsanius Marcellus' new batch? People say it's heavenly.
Ah, your recommendations never fail to impress. Do address the legatus, though. This victory was of his doing more than mine.
My apologies, Legate. I neither know nor recognize you. Thank you. I am sure you'll be remembered from now on. Now, let us conclude our business. The consul seems to attribute the success of this campaign to you, Legate. Thus it is your duty to formally disband the Legion and relinquish your weapons. Beyond this river lies the Pomerium, and not even a victorious imperator can cross it bearing arms.
Our laws are what separates us from animals. You have given up your command, but you have retained your virtue. You can always get your command back when Rome needs you again. Ah, you overstate my influence. It is easy to make a sharp sword out of good steel. The River Rubicon marks the sacred line where you stop being a warrior. It is time you learn how you may conquer a more civilized battleground. We shall meet at my villa in 2 nights. There are people I want you to meet prior to the Senate hearing. We must get your villa back somehow. Do not worry about your favorite gladius. Your war gear will be kept safely in my summer villa outside the city.
I hope you are hungry, Domine. Lucullus is known for his lavish feasts. Do not eat anything until I've tasted it first. I wouldn't put it past the Vitellius brothers to poison this entire party just to get you and Lucullus. I am sure Dominus Lucullus has a reason and a plan. I would play along. My personal mission tonight is to taste each and every single dish. You may have to roll me home. I see that Tullius Cicero and Porcius Cato are both here tonight. They are highly esteemed senators of the Optimatus faction. The very same. He is an orator of unmatched skill. He was trained in Greece, you know. To what end? A blade would not help against poison. May Fortuna smile on you, Domine. I'll be here if you need me.
Right on time. Just like a proper legatus. Welcome, son. After this long and arduous campaign, a feast is all you need. All in due time. All in due time. Now, divert your attention to our guests. This is more important than you think. We should, and we are. This is our preparation. The guests in this party were not randomly chosen. Our success largely depends on your conduct tonight. Well, you know Marcus Minucius Thermus. He's still thankful for your timely assistance and the saving of his life. You probably remember Marcus Aurelius Cotta as well. He seems to have brought his siblings, Lucius and Aurelia Cotta. The gentleman in the corner is Marcus Tullius Cicero. Making his acquaintance should prove to be very useful for you. I plan for him to become your advocate tomorrow. Last but not least, I've also invited Marcus Porcius Cato, who may or may not represent you as well. You see why it was important for you to be here. I think not. Just be your charming self and try to win them over. And please relax. You have defeated an army of rebel pirates. This is a simple dinner party. Of course I am. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. Be sure to join us at the table before you leave. I'd like to introduce you to Cato myself. And smile. And do not walk like you have just swallowed a measuring pole.
I was surprised Crassus offered to pay for the whole campaign himself.
He's desperate for a military victory.
Is Pompeius Magnus not coming?
But fending off a mob
He's
of
in
gladiators,
Hispania, I believe.
that's not very glamorous.
An easy victory to advertise to gullible plebeians.
Of course. The savior of the legions, Lucullus Wonder Kid. I knew you would be here. Don't give me that infuriating smirk. Slither off and gloat somewhere else, will you?
Excuse my brother's ill mood, Legate. This new Carthaginian wine doesn't agree with him, if you know what I mean. I am Lucius Aurelius Cotta. This is our sister, Aurelia. We're glad to make your acquaintance. We were just talking about you anyway.
Of course we were.
We were discussing how you saved my brother's life and became the hero of the Azia campaign.
Yet my son Gaius was not valuable enough to be saved. Indeed, it almost took Marcus's life too. Thank you for saving at least one of the people I deeply care about.
Other than saving his life?
Lucius!
Oh, please, let him talk, Aurelia. Let everyone witness the failure of Marcus Aurelius Cotta. The man who got himself captured and let his nephew die. The consul who had to be saved by a homeless runt.
Rest assured, my brother is thankful for that, Legate.
Really? Are you so eager to display your shallowness?
It's been rather rainy recently, true. At least the rain drives the mosquitoes away.
Not all of them, it seems.
Salve! I've heard a lot about you. Is that so? Few people beyond the political circles would know of me. My reputation depends largely on who's talking. To varying degrees, I am sure. I'm an advocate. I defend those whom others seek to incriminate. But I'm sure a career soldier such as you would find the topic rather boring. Indeed. I suppose that makes sense, especially considering the predicament you're in. That depends what you mean by friend. Your Patronus, Lucullus, is a consul. Many people would claim to be his friend. There's a difference between knowing someone and merely knowing someone's name, though. Are we friends? Our republic is in great turmoil. We should all aim to gather around us as many friends as possible.
That is absolutely unnecessary. I'd spend it all on farmlands. People need their food.
Indeed they do. But what good is food if it's obtained by illegitimate means? What do you think about it, Legate?
Fortunately, I know you are good at handling ambushes.
Spoils of war. Unaccounted for and untaxed. Should they be used for development to feed the people of Rome? A simple question.
A fairly strong answer, I'd say. No matter how much you try to legislate, the situation at hand will defy your expectations.
Meet Senators Marcus Porcius Cato and Marcus Tullius Cicero, who will be acting as your attorney tomorrow. At least I hope so.
Unfortunately, things have developed differently, my friend. I've decided to represent Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola instead. Enemies? Most certainly not. I am an advocate. I just represent my client in a specific matter.
Certainly an interesting turn of events. But I've heard you talking disfavorably about the Vitellius brothers before. How do you justify defending them?
What I justify hardly matters. I seek to represent them to the best of my ability, so justice can be served. Precisely. The rules exist for a reason. One must understand the reasons to challenge them.
Rules should never invalidate the reasons for their existence. Morality is beyond law. Legate, what guidelines did you follow when you had to decide the fate of that Triarchus? Why did you have him executed? I'm sure your decision proved more arduous for him. I wonder, exactly how utilitarian are you in your thinking? I heard you had the opportunity to bribe a hired guard protecting a spy.
Stop interrogating the man, Cato. Not everyone must adhere to your high standards.
Yet you did not take it. A point well taken.
Depends on the denarii, I suppose. Well, gentlemen, this discussion has become too hypothetical for my tastes. I bid you a good day.
Wale, Cicero. See you tomorrow.
One final question, before I retire as well.
You and your questions, Cato.
I believe if you wanted, you could enter the Pomerium fully armed. Why didn't you? Indeed. In betraying Rome, you would betray yourself. This has been an interesting conversation, gentlemen. I thank you for it. But now, with your permission, I shall leave. Welate.
Wale, Cato.
You look tired. Shall we leave?
Look, that young man there. I think that's him.
Really? He looks barely old enough to wipe his own arse.
I haven't received an invitation yet.
Did you know that Julius
Varus is planning? This might be the last chance to go. They're going to ban that whole Pelagium.
I saw him at the forum the other
That
day.
fool, Silvius. He's been pushing his luck too long. You must admit that last orgy was fantastic.
Ah, it's good to see you again.
Have some wine.
Douglas Cotter will be pontifex.
My leg still hurts every now and then, and all this rain isn't helping. That is nothing compared to what could have been. You have my eternal gratitude. Much appreciated. But I am eager to return to my propraetorship in Asia. With any luck, Rome will never have need of me again. It is pretty much out of my hands. I'd follow your Patronus's lead. Lucullus is a smart man who usually has a few backup plans. I understand you have all the evidence you need to expose Vitellius Scaevola. It's a strong position. Nevertheless, I would advise caution. Vitellius Scaevola, and especially his brother Lurco, are ruthless and cunning. Expect the unexpected. Only those who matter. Be careful around Cotter. He's still reeling somewhat from the damage that was done to his pride. He probably understands it well. It's just that your presence here is a constant reminder of his failure.
You look tired. Shall we leave? So, did you enjoy yourself? That is what life is.
As per today's augury, a specific issue stood out as being of utmost importance. I bring forth the following relatio, the result of which is to be decided per discussionem, and as usual before the sun sets. The complaint is brought forth by Lucius Licinius Lucullus, concerning alleged wrongdoing and infamous conduct by Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola and his brother Vibius Vitellius Lurco. Are both parties present?
I am present.
As am I.
Weird that Vitellius Lurco would be here to do the talking. Where is Scaevola? He is the accused.
Are both parties represented?
I shall represent the defendant.
Very well. For the benefit of all present, would the owner of the complaint restate their accusation? Found out. So you do have evidence. Interesting. Do you accept the accusation, Cicero?
I see no reason to comment at this stage. May I humbly remind the Magistra, he who makes the claim has the burden of proof. We shall rest until sufficient proof is presented to eliminate all shadow of a doubt.
I was just trying to be helpful. The defendant is always at a disadvantage.
I'm sure you mean usually and not always.
As you wish. Present your evidence.
Preposterous. Do you think my client would be foolish enough to commit a crime and put his signature on the evidence?
The evidence is material, Cicero. There is no room for interpretation. The crates do carry Scaevola's signature.
I have investigated them myself. I concur. Is there anyone who would contest my findings?
I admit, the evidence looks damning.
So, do the defendants admit their guilt? Are the Vitelli guilty of all crimes stated or implied?
Of course not. For starters, the evidence proves only treason.
Only? What else is needed to declare this man infamous?
Do not interrupt the speaker.
No harm done. My dear friend Cato is correct. The evidence is enough to declare one infamous. That one is Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola. Nowhere in any findings can you conjure the ability to implicate my client, Webius Vitellius Lurko. It would have been indeed.
But
there simply is no case. Vitellius Scaevola cannot be punished.
Your rhetorical games grow tiresome. You have admitted the evidence is rock solid.
This should be interesting.
I never said he's innocent. As far as I can tell, he's guilty. But he is dead. Therefore, the case is null and void.
Senators, people of Rome, of course the evidence is clear. I accept my brother's guilt. It is a stain on our family name. A stain we will quite possibly never be able to cleanse. You know I love my family. I love my brother more than anything else in this world. Almost anything. The only thing I love more than my own brother is Rome itself. And thus, with sorrow in my heart, I was forced to take his life.
Oh, I see.
It is not a boast. It is my solemn duty to deliver the news. I am a man with the highest of morals. Someone who places the well-being of Rome over his own flesh and blood. Step outside, senators. You will witness my brother hanging from the old tree. Let him rot there. And do not take him down. Let it be a warning to all those who would threaten Rome, placing their petty family matters over the well-being of our great republic. Let it be known that Webius Vitellius Lurko will never tolerate treason, not even from his own blood.
A decision cannot be reached. This case is non-existent.
You'll be fine, for now. The clerk should give you an official deed for your villa. Now that Lurko has killed his own brother, it officially belongs to you. This is not good, though. He turned impending defeat into a major victory. We will need a new plan. Go home and lay low for now. Your family needs you.
Domine, we've been awaiting your return. You have a good memory for faces. The name is Marcellus. We have been informed by Vitellius Lurko that the ownership of this villa was transferred to you. As per his orders, we kept the area safe until your arrival. Now that you're back, with your permission, we will take our leave. Valete.
My son? You're back! And with Cineros. Oh, it's so good to see you both safe.
It's good to see you, Domina.
I've missed you so much. You look great. Did you lose some weight? Are you eating well? Has he been eating well, Cineros?
He has, Domina.
Do tell your mother how much you missed her. You were always my favorite. Don't tell your sister. Tell me about the war. I heard some of your friends died there. Killed by pirates. How did you survive? So am I. You can't guess how glad I am. But did you like the life in the Legion? Do you want to be a career soldier? I was afraid you'd hate it like your father did. But it seems you're more of a warrior than he was.
Domina, with all due respect, I guess the Legatus has his own questions. Am I wrong?
Oh, they were polite, mostly. Except for the fact they wanted me confined to this villa. I guess having me walking around the streets was too much of a risk. Once you were out of the picture. He had no reason to antagonize me, though. I do. And Akulus agreed. It was a sinister plan to take over our family. But now you're here, and everything will be fine. They told me your sister's husband is dead. She should be free by now. I wonder if they did something to her. It's good to have you home, and for it to be our home again. Now that you're back, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, listen to me. You just got here. Go on, take some time to settle in. Let me know when you're ready to get to work.
Excuse me.
Your mother has started catching me up on how the vineyards have been going since we left. The harvest was better than expected. That is good news, of course, but it also means we have a problem. One of our grapes produced a particularly good wine. It's an opulent vintage with a smooth finish. Quite frankly, Domine, it is one of the best wines I have ever tasted. It means the wine has a rich and smooth taste. An opulent wine is a bold wine. The meanings of words are rarely set in stone. Perhaps 1,000 years from now, people will use different adjectives. But today, these are the words we use. Oh, but I do. And you know I've tasted a lot of excellent wines throughout my life. This wine ranks among the best of the best. The question is what we shall do with this wine. It's certainly worth more than what we normally sell for. It's the best kind of problem to have. It might be a good idea to visit some of the merchants in the market. Before you leave, there's a small thing we have to decide. A good wine deserves a good name. What should we name this one? Darkest Rose. Romantic and dangerous. Very well. That being settled, you should go and talk to the wine merchants. I had no doubts. You've made everyone proud, and this victory is cause for celebration. I shall cook today. Our legal system has its own intricacies, which no one but people like Kikaro understand. I'm sure the powers that be worked their magic. I don't know, it's your house. Sit back and relax and let your Sir-We handle things. Do bear in mind that managing an estate is no simple task, though. Now that your father is no longer with us, you will have to find a way to generate income. I think we should focus on the wine business. There used to be a lot of money in your vineyards.
Do you need me? Domine?
So good to have.
Back home safe and sound.
How is it? You don't like the dress? Is it normal in Rome for important people to make such shameless advances on their guards? Is good we are not normal, then? In some ways it is. In others, it is not. City is big. I have never seen anything like it. And there are so many things to buy, so many different people. I love that. But there is a strange way people talk to me. Not because I am foreign, I think, but because I am woman. That I don't like. I would like that, if it is fine with you. This villa is amazing. So many statues and fancy carpets. I love your garden. It's so lush and green. And trickle of fountain calms me down.
I'm so glad to be rid of those lictors. The way they looked at me.
Are you going to feed the horses?
I am? Is there something I should know?
Is your back giving you trouble? Salve legate. Are you looking for medical supplies? Then you've come to the right place. Tell me what you need, and I shall provide you with everything. I do not charge for the act of healing. I charge for the items I use. My potions and bandages do not come cheap. It would have been fortuitous if the gods simply granted such materials. But healing is the art of mortal hands, and mortal hands need denarii. Every healer I know dreams of going to war with the legions. But bones do not only break in battle. Life in Rome can sometimes be a battlefield. I have some linen I can spare. You could buy some if you want to make bandages. This bottle could also prove to be interesting for you. It's a concoction that works against the effects of many poisons. The machinations of the senatorial class can occasionally turn very bitter indeed. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Good. You should make sure to consult a trained healer in mixing this, however. The wrong application could turn ugly. Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Thank you. Let us hope you'll never have need of them.
Special discount for Alway. What brings you to the land of wine today? If wine is what you seek, you have come to the right place. My wine is much better than those of Marcellus Vipsanius. He prioritizes customer satisfaction at the cost of morality and the law. He lies, cheats, and threatens. In the end, he acquires the best vintages. That's what I call it. This area of the market belongs to the Collegium Venariorum. We are an association of all the wine merchants in Rome. Not at all. Although we are rivals, that doesn't make us enemies. In fact, we have certain rules about the way business is to be conducted. Some of us do, but many of us purchase wine from vineyards and sell it here at the market. I would be very interested, but the rules state that I have to call the other merchants for a tasting. We each must have an equal opportunity. Exciting! This is brilliant. Exquisite. The best wine I have tasted this year. You know, your father and my father used to trade, but I do not believe they ever achieved this level of excellence.
I do not know, Quintus. It does have a harsh finish.
I would call it nutty. It's a really good wine, though. I could sell this for years. Domine, would you consider a 5-year deal? I'm willing to buy a 5th of your stock this year, and another 5th next year, and so on. For each batch, I would offer you 1,000 denarii.
I won't risk that. Tastes change, and demands change with them. I'll pay you 3,500 denarii. Sure, it is less than you'd get from Claudius over 5 years, but I want all of this wine now.
I agree, it is a good wine. I will buy all of your stock right now, and I'll pay 4,000 denarii, more than Quintus is willing to part with. Half now, and half when I take delivery. It's good money, more than what Quintus pays, and you'll get paid as soon as I take delivery. In exchange, your wine will be sold at the best tavern in Rome. It's an offer you cannot refuse.
I am an honest trader, Legate. My father used to deal with your father before either of us was born. I will sell your wine to the best clients and pay for all of it up front.
The deal favors us both. I pay less now, and you have greater profits in the long term.
I'm sure you've made the right choice, and that you know what's good for you.
You will not be disappointed.
Preposterous. You can't make a deal with these fools. Mark my words, you will regret this. I give you one last chance to change your mind. You have missed out on a great business venture.
I will make the arrangements at once. You will receive the first installment soon. Wide selection of wines from Greece and Africa. Wines for every taste and every budget. Try for yourself the latest phenomenon that has upended the wine trade of Rome. The mysterious and seductive Darkest Rose.
So you found me again. But you're a civilian now. Here you are, just another customer in my smithy. Only because you've never met any of my competitors, I'm sure. I don't suppose you're in the market for some carpentry tools? A fine gift for this humble smith. For my service to your legion, I assume. Much obliged. Tell you what, I do have something here you might be interested in. Have you ever heard the legend of the Ancilia? Well, I'm not much of a storyteller, but they say the shield of Mars fell from the sky during the reign of Numa Pompilius. In his wisdom, the king ordered 11 copies to be forged. They were stored alongside the original in the Temple of Mars. I have come into possession of one of them. Or perhaps it's the original, who knows? But you see, even a replica, ancient and storied as it is worth a small fortune. If nothing else, it's an exquisite artifact of a bygone age. Then, if you buy it from me, you should take good care of it. You are as savvy in business as you are in warfare, I see. I do have an assistant, my daughter. She is all I can afford. But today she is with her teacher learning history or Greek or some other such high-minded nonsense. The hope is if he fills her head with enough such drivel, she will find a wealthy husband so she'll never have to peddle my pots and pans again. A fair price, I should say. Very well. The Ancile is yours. I cannot guarantee that it once belonged to a god, but you have my word that it is a good shield, and it will serve you well should you ever use it in combat.
Fine wine from the beautiful hills of...
Half price on all wine from Hispania. Only today.
Good, you're here. Let us begin. First, tell me what you thought about my question. Naturally. We can only speculate about the meaning of life. Let us frame it another way, then. What would you hope that the purpose of your life might be? Isn't that a bit pointless? Do we live to live? I disagree. It is a Badlanista who beats the Serwis for no apparent reason. Knowing the reason makes you stronger. To understand reasons, we must understand causes. We must know the root cause of all there is and all there will ever be, the stones of which the universe is made, or what we call the first principle. In a way, those may be the first principles of fighting. Your distance and your stance change based on your tools and foes, but they are common elements to all fighting. Yet logic and observation dictates there must be. No one really knows what the first principle is, but thinking about it is the first step in finding one's purpose. Opinions are divided. Some say the first principle is water. Others say it's wind, fire, or earth. What do you think the first principle might be? Do not think of it as water itself. Anaximandros says the first principle is fluid and water-like. It is the indeterminate boundless. He calls it the realm of the infinite, which is in eternal motion. When things exist, they become finite. But when they cease to exist, they go back to the water of infinity. An interesting take on the tale of the basilisk. Indeed. Perhaps our actions turn our ideas into stone. It is not about strength. Anaximenes believes the wind is the soul of the world, because it is the wind that makes us breathe and live. He also posits that all other elements are derived from air. Fire happens when wind blows too fast, yet water happens when the air is too slow. Maybe. I don't think a rock has breath, though. It's more about the inherent movement of fire than the destructive force thereof. Heraclitus says fire is change, and as such, the only thing that is always the same. Everything changes. Nothing ever is. We are all in the process of becoming, and never stop. Change is the only common element in the world. He also gives the example of a river. He says one can never bathe in the same river, for the next time you try, the water is not the same water, and the man is not the same man. Or maybe nothing comes out of anything. Parmenides said nothing can ever be seen in the process of becoming. Things always just are. A process of change is just a trick of our senses. At any given moment, things are stationary. If your senses are not reliable, how could you ever know? And that is what Empedocles says. He believes any or all of those can be the answer. It depends on the situation or person. But I believe that to be a non-answer. Right is defined by the existence of wrong. Right is the absence of wrong. If everything is right, then nothing is right, for nothing is wrong. Who knows? Thinking about the first principle is a way of thinking about the world. And only by knowing the world clearly can you know yourself. He who knows himself and others can surely make better decisions. Only then you can trust your actions. Only then can you be a good man. Only then can you be free. Perhaps because your mind is not free. A man who is not allowed to do what he wants, can such a man be truly free? Because you're free to look anywhere, but you do not know where to begin. Sometimes an abundance of freedom can be as restricting as the lack thereof. You may pursue your own happiness, but when it comes at the cost of someone else's, can you be called a good man? A good man can sacrifice his own happiness for that of others. You can do that even if you're usually a bringer of pain. Happiness is the absence of misery. If you do not know how to make people happy, then you can try to eliminate misery. By doing that, you can be a good man. You can try. And the Bestia Tabat I know excels at overcoming difficult obstacles. It is your goal in life, Bestia. Just like your sister, you are partly stuck in the realm of ideas. You will not be complete until you find her, or find her not. You're a child, Bestia. No one will hold you to account for what you thought back then. Never forget that actions always speak louder than thoughts or words. Who knows whose Serwa your sister is now? Do you want me to be honest? What matters is not if you will find her, but what you will do if you find her. You're welcome, Discipule. I can only ask the right questions. It is you who should find the answers.
bandages, fresh medicinal herbs.
You came! If I say dumb things, blame the wine. But I really didn't expect you to appear here, of all places. That you do indeed, and thank the twice-born god. Woman, bring us a fresh jug. My friend is still sober, and that's simply not acceptable. Now, what are we drinking to? Rome is fine. Women, though, bring nothing but trouble. Fortunately, trouble is what I like. That hit the spot. Another one? I'll tell you a secret. I can always drink another one. Another! Keep it pouring! And then I said, well, what can you say in that situation? Obviously, I asked, is that really a goat? Or a sorry excuse for a tent pole? It was. I still can't help but laugh. You know what people say in Africa? Wine makes the soul come out of you. You're all right, my friend. You're all right. I'm glad you came. Friendships that develop in war don't always stand the test of peacetime. More than I could count. I've walked on so many different kinds of soil, seen so many faces, and broken so many hearts. Marcellus Vipsenius is the best. Some say he's working on the recipes of the legendary Margot himself. Others say he smuggles his wine from Carthage. An amusing notion. Should I also get a wife and make a few little brats of my own? Not me. I'm an adventurer at heart, and an adventurer never rests. Sure, life is full of pain and misery, but it's also full of beauty and wonder. You should endure the former and live for the latter. There's so much to experience still. To people like us, settling down is like death. Something you don't long for, nor expect.
Another jug, Domini.
That will be all, Soa.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you, Domina. May we perhaps retreat to a private chamber?
I know. It's a blessing and a curse. Out with it, woman. What do you want?
I think I am with child. I don't know how to say this.
Speak freely.
You are the father of my child. Future child. Don't you remember me, Aquilinos?
What? That she does. But I've never seen this woman in my life.
You told me you would not remember me. Afterwards. And I respected that in a way, but now I need your help. Marcellus Vipsanius doesn't like his girls giving birth. He's a cruel man. I remember how kind you were to me. My child deserves better. Our child. Even if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I want our child safe and away from this shithole. Will you save me?
Indeed. Perhaps we should inform the Kensos.
Quit bothering the guests, look here. These jugs will not deliver themselves.
Help me, please.
Quickly, Thawa.
The night has taken an unusual turn. I apologize. I don't, but I do tend to forget some things when I'm drunk. Still, I find it hard to believe I'd forget the mother of my own child. Maybe, well, not entirely. Times like these, I wish Calida were here. That woman has a knack for spotting a lie. I don't know what to make of any of this. I'll have to think. Thank you, my friend. That means a lot. You go. I suddenly have much to think about.
I see him. By fire. Talking to his friend.
Let's find a way to let him down easy.
You came. And you have brought Daenerys.
Calidar is showing me around. This city is big. Bigger than I thought. We have seen many dresses. Some of them actually pink.
Bright red. A bright color of warning. A predator's color. Pink looks good on you, Daenerys.
Thank you. What is this place? Why are you here always? A place for your war god? Why do you have so many gods? People are difficult enough. Gods are worse.
You speak truth. Perhaps our souls are lonely and that's why we need many gods.
There! Stop right there! You're coming with us!
Please, do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Do you know these Landakai?
They told me you were back in the city. I did not believe it. I do not know what kind of god possessed you, for I do not know which of these gods is more foolish.
Mars watches over us here. Mind your words.
You are a criminal. You are a disgrace to our family. Because of what you've done, we all will be infamous. That much is not a surprise to me.
Kill whom?
Accident. It was an accident. When you drop a jug of water and it shatters, that is an accident. When you push your own husband down the stairs and shatter his skull, well, I believe they call that murder. Father is dead. I think he died of grief because his only daughter acts as if she's a man. Does it matter? The dead do not come back.
Arrested? For what?
She killed a man.
I kill men all the time. When they deserve it.
Rome does not look kindly on women who kill men, regardless of how much the man deserved it.
Deserved? I didn't realize marriage was a capital offense. He was your husband. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and you're still not allowed to kill him. Yulia, please. I do not want to see you hurt. Surrender peacefully.
That sounds like a threat, little man. Threatening the wrong person can get you killed.
What? Are you her gladiator lover or something? What do you mean?
Usually, what I say.
Innocent? I can't even recognize you. My sister was a kind and happy person who always... That you did, didn't you? In return, it was always you who was beaten. That wasn't fair. But life isn't. Very well. I will try to convince Mother. We're leaving, men. Yulia, stay out of sight.
You handled that very well.
Why did he leave? Yet it looks like he doesn't know how.
How is it?
Is everything well, dear? They told me Lucullus is your patronus now. That means our family reputation will be restored.
That and more.
Lucius, Louiana. It's so good to see you again, Mother. And brother, you're back.
Isn't that a beautiful sight? You are the patriarch of this family now. The well-being of it is your primary concern. The villa is yours. All of your rights are restored. Congratulations.
I don't know how we can ever repay you, Lucius.
There's no need to repay anything. You of all people should know that, Claudiana. This was not a transaction. I'll keep that in mind.
Is that it? But what if they...
Don't worry, Claudiana. No one can harm your family as long as I am alive. Everything will be fine.